morning from Australia. I'm going to move and breathe today, shake some energy loose. And I wanted to share this analogy that I heard the other day. It's like when we walk onto our yoga mat, we are a heavy, wet sponge that we've absorbed so much, and it's natural that we absorb other people's energies, we absorb our day in terms of frustrations and excitements and disappointments and stresses, all different things. But we're full and we're dense from everything that's happened. So yoga can provide us that, the squeezing out, the rinsing out, so that we're a dry sponge and able to reabsorb, just this kind of daily clear out, so that we are more of an open channel, not just for to insert new experiences, but to be clear in terms of connecting with those that we love, connecting with ourselves. Kind of clears out the filters. So I like that analogy. So let's do that. Let's do that today. Let's wring our sponge out. So to begin, let's sit cross-legged and let's take the hands to the knees. So you can turn them palm up. It's kind of this gesture of like receiving, this surrender, or you can take them palms down. So maybe you want to feel more grounded and rooted. So maybe try out both and see what resonates with you today. And just begin to observe the breath. See if you can trace it from the beginning of the inhale all the way to the top, and then the beginning of the exhale all the way to the bottom. See if you can stay with that to about 3 rounds of breath. Just dropping in from the thinking mind to the feeling body. Getting present for our practice. This time that we've carved out to essentially do a self-check-in, self-inquiry. We inquire through stillness, we inquire through movement. And thank yourself for showing up. This is often the hardest part, getting the mat enrolled, getting prepared. Here we are. Now the yoga begins. Take your hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the arms up. And then exhale with resistance, draw the hands down. So we keep the hands glued together the whole time. Press them out, forward, and up. Gaze follows. Move with a bit of resistance. Exhale, slowly draw down, heart center. Once more like this. Forward, up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a twist over towards the right. Left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. Roll the shoulders back. Heart center comes forward. Press down through the sit bones and the back hand to lift the spine up and long. Find space. Breathe. Again, observing the breath. Leave the arms where they are. Begin to gaze forward. Take the back hand, reach it up and over so the arms are crossed in front of the body. And take some cat-cow right here. Chin to chest, round the spine. Inhale, come up, cross the arms. Continue with that cat-cow in the back. But eagle arms, so the arms are wound or maybe even hands touching shoulders. Continue on, whatever feels good. Once more, inhale. Exhale. This time's arms go wide and up. Gaze follows, hands touch. Exhale, hands to the heart center. We twist to the left side. So right hand to the knee, left hand behind. Press down through the sit bones to lengthen the spine. Roll the shoulders back. Broaden the heart. Open the heart. Maybe gazing behind. Isn't this a beautiful view? I love it. Really stunning. Stunning place I found myself in. Who knew? Life is wild. Keep the right hand where it is. Begin to gaze forward. Back hand comes up and around, reaches for the right knee. Tuck the chin around the back. Stay here for a moment. And then we begin to cat-cow, but bring the arms, eagle the arms, back to the hands, front of the hands, maybe hands to shoulders, and move with breath. Once more, full round in and out. Arms go wide, inhale, and exhale, hands, heart center. Plant the hands, roll over the knees. Turn to the long side of your mat. And we're in tabletop position, so cat-cow, make any movements that you'd like to make here. Find any nooks and crannies that need a little bit of love and a bit of breath. So send your breath. And we meet tabletop. Right arm lengthens, left leg lengthens, so opposites here. Exhale, knee and elbow pull in, really push the left hand into the earth and round the back. Inhale, reach, and exhale, pull it all in. Again, inhale, reach, exhale, curl, pull it all in. Inhale, reach, listen up. The right hand's gonna come down and gaze back at the right foot. Turn it over towards the left side. So we're kind of tucking the foot back and in. The left knee is gonna come behind the right knee and we're gonna sit back. So both of the feet are going off to the sides. The feet are in diagonal. Sitting back into Go Mukhasana. You can sit the hips up on a block. You can also extend the bottom leg forward so that the top leg is wrapped around. So a couple different options there. And let's take another twist. So we're gonna twist towards the top leg. So my right leg is on top. I'm gonna take my right elbow, my left elbow, and place it on the right shin. You can also just take the arm. So a couple different options. You can open up the arms and push the arm into the right knee as you twist. You can also take the elbow. If you take the elbow, then hands in prayer position. Actively press hands together and actively press the elbow into the thigh. Maybe the thumbs can come to heart center. Can you lean back in your shoulders a little bit more? Really thinking about wringing out that sponge. Your sponge. Steady breath. Slowly release. Listen up. The hands are going to plant behind the back. Sit back on the hips. Soles of the feet come out in front and plant. Roll the shoulders back. Heart center comes forward. Press down to lift up for altar pose. Reverse tabletop. Maybe the head goes back. Full inhale. And release. Bring the booty down. Cross the ankles. Come back into tabletop position. Take a sway, take a swerve, a wiggle. Bend elbows. Big breath. We'll do this on the other side so you kind of know where we're going now. Left arm, right leg out. Reach, open. Exhale, curl in. Really press the ground away, round the back. Twice more like this. Inhale, reach through resistance. Exhale, curl in. See how that changes everything. Once more. Inhale, reach. Leave the leg up and bring the left hand down. So we'll look back towards the back of the mat. The left foot goes over towards the right side. Right knee hooks behind the left knee. Right foot goes over towards the left side. Booty sits back in that space in between. Again, bottom leg can be straight. Booty can be on a block as well. Press down through the sit bones to lift the spine. That downward energy creates that upward lift. And we'll take a twist to the left. So your choice, either the right arm presses into the left leg and helps you twist, or you can take the elbow. Regardless of that, we're really creating a connection there. between the arm and the leg. Hands come together if you're using the elbow. Roll the shoulders back. Heart center pushes towards the thumbs as the thumbs press back into heart center. Maybe the gaze goes over the left, maybe not. Steady breath. One more big inhale. Exhale, unwind. Hands plant behind. Undo the legs. We're going to come into reverse tabletop again, altar pose. Roll the shoulders back so the heart center comes forward. Press down to lift up. Maybe even stick the tongue out, lion's breath. On an exhale. And sink the booty down. Cross the ankles. Let's come into downward dog. So tuck the toes. Press the hips up and back. You can leave the knees as bent as you'd like. So stretching and feeling into wherever you're feeling this. Maybe it's in the hamstrings. Maybe it's in the back and shoulders. I'm feeling it in my calves today. My calves have been really tight. So it'll change day to day. So explore and notice and observe. Wiggle the hips if you'd like. Inhale, the right leg lifts up. Bend the knee and open the hip. Take a couple big hip circles. Listen up. Bend the standing leg as well. Now imagine that the standing leg, the top of the thigh is externally rotating. So both tops of the thighs are externally rotating. See how that changes this pose a bit. And then gaze towards the hands. Take a big step up. Right foot in between the hands. You can use your arm to pull your leg up there as well. If that's helpful, bring the back knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Press down through the feet and the knee to lift the torso up. Don't worry about how far the hips are sinking forward. You can keep pressing into that front foot here. Hands can be on the knee. You can lift the arms up. Roll the shoulders back wherever you are. Open the heart center. Find a bit of space. Big inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, straighten the front leg. You don't have to straighten it, lengthen it. Ardha Hanumanasana. Maybe a wiggle in the hips here. Left hand plants, maybe up on the fingertips. And we're going to draw like a bow and arrow the right arm back. So we're taking a twisted half splits. Some different options if you'd like to play. You can turn the front toes out a little bit. You might feel that a bit more in the IT band. Just an option. Lean back into the shoulders a little bit more. One more big inhale. And exhale, bring this back arm up and around. Bend the front knee. Plant both hands inside the right foot. Pick up the back knee and plant the foot down. Warrior dog. So the torso will come on the inside of the right leg. And it's warrior 2 in the legs, and it's downward dog in the torso. You can come onto the fingertips here. And we're going to take some sway, some wave in the torso. So inhale, gaze forward, heart pulls forward. Exhale, wave the torso down. Inhale, back of the heart lifts. Gaze comes forward. Exhale, wave down. Again, inhale, up. And exhale, wave down. Walk the hands, torso over towards the left side. Wide leg forward, fold. Toes are slightly in, heels are slightly out. Knees can be bent. And maybe you got a bit of a sway here as well. I am pro wiggle, pro swiggle, sway. So explore. Drain your brain, pour out. Maybe gentle shake of the head. And then bend the knees more so than they are. Take the hands to the hips. Begin to gaze forward. Bring your awareness to the connection between the feet and the mat. Press down so much that the torso begins to lift up. Toes turn towards the front of the mat. Bend the front leg, warrior 2. Evenly pressing down into the feet. And then see what it feels like to zip the feet towards one another. So you're not actually moving them, but as if you were going to pull the heels towards one another. See how that changes and it lights up the energy on the inner thighs. Arms reach out. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, plant the hands. Downward facing dog. Inhale, wave, forward plank pose. And exhale, chaturanga. So bend the elbows back. The knees can be up or down. You can go halfway down or all the way down to the ground. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Lengthen the heart forward. Cobra pose. Exhale, fold. This time, bring the hands wide up onto fingers. Inhale, lift the heart up a little bit higher. And we're gonna dip elbows here. Be sure to keep pressing the pubic bone down to protect the low back. And then shoulders. Right shoulder comes down, gaze towards the left. Inhale, center, lift heart, pull it forward. Exhale, left shoulder comes down as you gaze towards the right. Twice more each side with breath. Slow, steady. You might feel your torso getting longer each time you come to center. Finding a little bit more stretch in the abdomen. A little more length. And come all the way down to the ground. Plant the hands by the ribs, press down. Hips move up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Bend both knees. Imagine externally rotating at the top of both thighs as you take some movement here, some circles to explore. Gaze forward in between the thumbs. Big step up. Plant the right knee down. Again, we're going to press down to lift up. So I like this, really thinking about the foundation first. Press down to lift up. It's a much stronger pose. Arms can go up. Arms can go to the knees. I want to explain a cue that I use sometimes, so I've gotten some questions about it. About knitting the low ribs together. What does that mean? It kind of means like as if you had like a shoelace at the bottom of the ribs kind of splay out a little bit, as if you could bring them together. And what this cue is doing is that often we splay and we arch too much here, and it crunches up the low back, the low ribs splay. You can even put your hands there. So whenever we lengthen the tailbone down, press down and integrate the core, the low ribs come together. So that cue is kind of to integrate the core, turn on the core, and to pull everything together. All right, one more inhale. And exhale, lengthen the front leg. Hands come down to the ground or to blocks. Hips sink back. You can come down if you'd like. I prefer to stay up normally. Tent the right hand and then pull back the left arm, taking a twist here. Twisted half splits. You can gaze at the left toes. If you want to turn them out just a little bit, you might get a bit more sensation in the IT band. Steady breath. Next, inhale, lifts the left hand as you bend into the front leg. Both hands plant inside the left foot. Plant the back heel down into warrior dog. So warrior 2 in the legs, downward dog in the arms. And we wave the spine. Inhale, gaze forward, and exhale. So really imagine rinsing out your sponge here. Move with your breath. Again. Once more. Begin to walk towards the middle. This time bring the feet, the toes out, the heels in, and then come up into goddess pose. So toes out, heels in, hips sinking. Maybe take the hand down onto the belly, to the low belly button as you move your center side to side. Straightening one leg, straightening the other. Maybe a hand to the heart, whatever feels good. Feeling the heartbeat. Maybe closing the eyes down. And finding stillness, sinking the hips low. Just checking in with self. This is really what this yoga practice is about, is continuing to come back to ourselves. Next, inhale, press down through the feet, lift the arms up. Should be feeling a little bit of heat. And exhale, hip sink, hands, heart center. All right, we're gonna do a little rinse here. Take the hands to the knees, kind of like we did in Cobra pose. Inhale, hearts forward, bend the elbows. Exhale, right shoulder drops, gaze towards the left. Let the hips sink a little bit. Inhale, center, maybe hips rise. And then exhale, left shoulder drops, gaze towards the right. Let the hips sink. And twice more like this. At your own time with your own breath. Maybe audible exhales. Really wringing out. Beautiful. Press down through the feet to lift up. Toes, front toes turn towards the top of the mat. Warrior two. Sink the hips. Press evenly through both feet. And then see if you could zip them towards one another energetically. See how that shifts things and lights up the inner thighs. Pull back on the left outer hip crease. See how that changes the whole front leg. Arms go out. Steady breath. Gaze over the middle front finger. And then flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, hands come down. Downward facing dog. Your choice of vinyasa or child's pose. So inhale, wave forward plank pose. Chaturanga, knees up or knees down. Inhale, halfway lift or high cobra. Or up dog. Downward facing dog. Vinyasas are always your option. Everything's always your option, but there's just lots of different variations there. Hard to cue them all. So take your liberty. Beautiful. Walk the feet towards the hands. Ragdoll, top of the mat. Knees are bent. Hands to elbows or hands behind the head. Find a bit of a shake. A bit of a sway. And coming into a toe sit. So you can begin to gaze forward. Doesn't sound like fun, does it? For some of us. For some of us it is. Come into a little balance here. So hips drop towards the heels. Hands can come to the knees. I suggest that you squeeze the thighs towards one another. It'll help to give you some balance and some power. Or you can take the hands to heart center. Steady breath. Can you still breathe here? Very important. And we're going to come into boat pose. So you can separate the knees just slightly to have a little bit more balance. Send the arms forward as the hips go back, and slowly you'll come down onto the booty. Boat pose, Savasana, your choice. Hands can come down behind you as the legs go up. Legs can be long. You can grab behind the knees, lots of options here. But pull the belly towards the spine and open the heart. As soon as the heart begins to collapse and come out just a little bit, you want to keep that heart space open. And then pull the knees towards the chest. Round the back, come all the way down onto the back. Happy baby. So hands on the insides of the knees to the outsides of the feet or ankles. You can kick into the legs if you'd like, or you can find stillness. Just explore for yourself. And we'll take a brief twist on each side, about 3 rounds of breath. So your version of a twist, maybe just a simple twist, both knees over towards the right. 3 solid, steady ins and outs. See if you can trace the breath like we did in the beginning. From the beginning to the end. And switching sides. Wringing out. Just imagine you could just kind of melt out whatever it is that you don't want to keep with you from the day. This practice of constantly letting go so that we have space for new things. Integrating, assimilating what we need, and releasing the rest. And coming back to center. So your choice will have about a five deep, long breath Savasana, or you can come into a seat as well, however you would like to finish this session up. Really allow yourself to marinate in these last breaths. Visualize maybe an ice coming into water, water into vapor. Wherever you are, taking one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Just a genuine thank you to you. So whatever it is that you would like to say and would like to hear right now, just for carving out this space, to valuing this inner relationship, valuing the body, and our internal connection. And bringing the hands together. Thumbs at the third eye. And let's bow forward to seal our practice in thanks. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me and letting me be a part of your practice. I will see you next time on your mat. If you'd like to learn more about what I have going on right now, because I've always got a lot going on, coldchanceyoga.com. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.